Greetings, second week in Maui. We got a bunch of critical stories for you this week. The first one, a leading U.S. fuel pipeline operator, Colonial Pipeline, had to shut down its entire network following a ransomware cyber attack, one of the most serious cyber incidents to date in the infrastructure space. Colonial supplies about 2.5 million barrels of fuel from U.S. Gulf Coast refiners to the East Coast and Southeastern United States, including gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel, over 5,500 miles of pipelines. The hackers are an organized cyber criminal organization known as DarkSide, and they specialize in developing ransomware. There are a few critical aspects here, perhaps the most important of which is that the cyber battlefield around critical infrastructure has now evolved beyond state-sponsored actors, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and China, to non-state groups as well. And that should be a pretty big concern because it means the battlefield is spreading. We need to continue to take this threat even more seriously and more proactively probe for our own weaknesses before somebody else does it. Switching gears, in California, sales of cars with a plug, pure batteries, plug-ins, or hydrogen reached over 9% of total automobile sales in Q1 of 2021. No surprise, Tesla led by a wide margin with its Model Y at 15,265 units and the Model 3 second at 14,536, with the Chevy Bolt a distant third at 5,252 units. The Model 3 is now the most popular EV in California at over 144,000 registrations. There are no Neos yet in California, but they are now coming to Norway, and they're bringing with them the battery swapping network that Neo employs in China, where it's already done 500,000 swaps. You drive into the box, robots swap out your battery assembly underneath in a few minutes, and you're on your way. Neo plans to open its first showroom in Q3 of this year in Oslo, with 4 more in 2022, and then they're going to have their battery swapping network in Norway as well. Switching gears entirely, AES announced it will supply Google with renewable energy in a 10-year deal to supply its North Virginia data centers and achieve a 90% carbon-free mix when measured on an hourly basis. AES is going to combine wind, solar, hydro, and battery storage to get it done, and it sets a new bar for clean energy flowing into data centers. Google's 2 data centers in Loudoun County, Virginia right now use about 40% renewable energy per hour on average, so this is a big jump up. Another sign of this transition that's taking place, Talen Energy, as part of its strategic transformation to a, quote, renewable energy and digital infrastructure growth platform, unquote, is developing a gigawatt of standalone battery storage projects across its U.S. footprint, with projects ranging from 20 to 300 megawatts across 3 states over the next 3 to 5 years. The project will take advantage of Talen-owned land and its legacy fossil generation and transmission facilities, so it will already have the interconnections. The first 2 planned battery projects are 20 megawatt projects adjacent to Baltimore, Maryland, and Camden, New Jersey generating facilities. In the EV space, Ford is putting an additional equity investment in Solid Power, developer of solid-state EV battery tech. Ford's looking for a longer range, lower cost, and more stable battery chemistries than exist in the market today. This participation in a $130 million Series B investment round puts Ford on par with BMW Group as equal equity owners. And then the last story for the week. Salesforce is requiring its suppliers to prove meaningful carbon reduction compliance. So moving into scope 3 pretty hard here. A look at its sustainability exhibit makes it pretty clear that it means business. Quote, for Salesforce and for supplier, the environment is a key stakeholder. Climate change is the greatest challenge humans have ever faced. That leads off that section. And further, it says the suppliers have 90 days within the effective date of the agreement to submit a letter to the Science-Based Targets Initiative establishing their commitments to set science-based targets aligned with reduction pathways to 1.5 degrees centigrade or less. And one section reads, quote, suppliers shall develop and implement a plan of continuous improvement, the plan, with respect to the provision of the products and or services to reduce the carbon footprint and the environmental impact of the agreement throughout the term. There are even terms and penalties for non-compliance and a section on remedies related to a, quote, climate breach. This is all new stuff. Welcome to the brave new world. It is the only one we have. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next week.